What's up guys, Guardian16 here, and today I'm bringing you another hints and tips video regarding Shaco and the new Season 4 patch with the Feral Flare. Might I just start by saying Feral Flare is incredibly strong, and if you want a top tip in the new jungle on how to win, essentially it is build Feral Flare, and step 2 is win. So the two-step guide to winning. Unfortunately, I wish that was a joke, but I'm sure most of you will have realised that playing against Feral Flare recently is incredibly frustrating, especially when they're the junglers like Nocturne and who's the other bugger? I haven't actually seen a Shiv jungle with it yet, but Nocturne for sure is just tanky and unkillable with his Feral Flare. But anyway, let's hop right into the Shaco. So for a start, you want to be buying your Hunter's Machete in 5 pots. There's no point buying Doran's Blade anymore. You cannot invade level 3 as you used to because you just can't get level 3 from the buffs anymore. So that's kind of new to Shaco, but Feral Flare has brought Shaco back in a big way, and I will be hopefully trying to explain why. Let me just turn it so you can only see the purple fog of war. And while we're just going in through this early game rubbish, let's just discuss the item build. So for a start, there are several ways you can build Shaco and never feel like you're out of the game if you don't snowball early on, because that simply is not true. The core of the build I like to play will be Feral Flare as your jungle item, then picking up Shiv and Last Whisper as the core items. The build order may vary, obviously depending on game to game, but that's the 3 items I like to be as my core. Now the others can vary. If you're feeling like your team cannot teamfight effectively and you need to be split pushing, Tiamat into Hydra is a very strong pick, as it gives you a great wave clear for split pushing. Otherwise, if you feel like if your teammates cannot teamfight and you're finding yourself having to be in teamfights yourself, Blade the Ruined King is a lot stronger pick, and not only will it increase your attack speed and buff your Feral Flare procs, I guess, in a way, it also gives you great dueling power with its active and chase and a disengage. It's just an all-round stronger item for dueling than Tiamat is. So don't buy Hydra if you're not split pushing, is pretty much the way to go here. Regarding the invades level 2 as well, there are some situations where you might believe that it is a good idea to do so. For example, right now I have a Rengar in the enemy jungle. That could possibly, I notice I smite the buff here as well just to clear it incredibly quickly, because my smite will be back up regardless for red. I could have saved it for walls, but it's not really needed. Rengar in the jungle, that's not really, he's not really that strong early game, so if I wanted to I could have invaded this game, and possibly I should have, but junglers like Rengar early, Wukong early, even Fiddlesticks, although Fiddlesticks is quite risky depending on how well the Fiddlesticks plays, if he bought his Fear level 2 or something, will be really good invades for you. But obviously Elise, Lee Sin, other Shacos, you don't want to be going in for that kind of stuff, because you will just die to them, because you won't have your full kit, you'll only have your Deceive up. I'm picking up the red buff right now, trying to cover the rest of what I wanted to say as well. And also, if you're behind as Shaco and your team fighting a lot as well, don't feel the need that you have to go full assassin. Tank Shaco is not out of the option. Sunfire Cape will be a great item for you. Synergizes well with the fact you're going to stick to carries, and also your clone will also be putting out some 5k damage as well. So I mean, don't feel that you cannot build tank items, because it isn't true. It's probably not the optimal way to play Shaco or the most fun way to play Shaco, but it's definitely a way to play Shaco. So now I see that the Darius is overextending. I know Darius is an easy gank because Darius doesn't have any escapes. He's got engage, he's got good power once he's in a fight, but he has no way to escape. So this Lee Sin comes in here, we put a box down, and safeguards to me to position himself really well. I get the fear off on Darius. I'm not sure if you guys there. Oh, okay, I flash in the Shiv and get first blood there. This is something I've said in my videos quite a few times, and I'll say again, take the kills. This is a normal game. I feel like I should stress that, because some people comment saying this is a normal game. I'm like, yeah, it's a normal game. I never say they are all ranked games. I don't really see the difference. Like, does it add to the I don't know what the correct word would be, not necessarily the respectability, but the legitimacy of a video. Is it just null and void if it's a normal game? I don't really think so, because it's clearly still, you know, it's still League of Legends. It doesn't matter whether I'm getting MMR for it at all, or not MMR, LP for it or not. Regardless, So we got a successful game top. Like I keep saying, or I have said in the past, take the kills, trust yourself to be able to the one to carry the game, and try and don't necessarily KS, but in a situation like that where Lee Sin might not have been able to get the kill, I wasn't entirely confident in himself to get it. Flash E, the way to go. Now, at the moment, I'm having a very different playstyle to how I normally would play Shaco. I will probably have ganked mid by this point. However, the reason I have not yet is because I'm looking at the lane in itself. I've seen this Swain versus Zed. Swain is my pre-made in this game, Curly Crusader. Had a bad game, doesn't really matter too much. And I know Zed is a very slippery target to go for unless he's used his shadows. And Swain doesn't really have the best crowd control if he misses his route, which is very easy to miss on a Zed who has his slippery shadows. So here I see Zed is real pushing in this Swain. So I'm going to try and gank the lane now, check for wards and quickly pop in, placing a box very far back. You can see I've not thrown my Shiv yet because he's still in distance, and I should have been kiting a bit more. I should have been staying ahead of him. That was really bad by me. Unfortunately, Swain follows and gets real greedy for the kill, and kind of pays the price. I could have killed the Zed on my own there, but it doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, if your E is on cooldown, then your autos are a permanent slow. So if you don't need to throw your Shiv, do not throw your Shiv early. Throw your Shiv as the last inch of damage, like what I did there, as Zed was getting away from me, because if you throw your Shiv, instantly you lose the perma slow on your auto attacks. You're pretty much Skarner pre-nerf rework. I mean rework, of course. Shut up, it's a rework. Who said Skarner was unviable? Not everyone. So, because of the 2 kills I've had really early on, I've been able to buy my wriggles super quickly. If you weren't able to do so, you could just keep farming, because obviously you're going to be a wriggles jungler. You preferably, I don't even know. It's going to be hard for you if you can't rush your wriggles, actually, to be honest, because farming won't be yielding as much gold as it would be. But then again, it wouldn't be yielding as much gold if you had a Spirit Stone. So now my blue buff is up. I got a bit slacking with my buff timers. I was just trying to stack up my Feral Flare, so I went straight to the first camp I could see. I don't think I pick up wolves here. No, I would not. And I'm going straight for my blue buff. I don't donate the blue buff to my mid lane this game because my mid lane is having a hard time. Died twice to the Zed, so it's obviously not a good idea to donate a buff to someone who's just probably going to feed it to the enemy. So don't feel as if you have to donate your buffs. And I'm really sorry if the audio is a bit wonky on this recording. This is a brand new microphone, but we're getting used to it. Picking up wolves now. The reason I'm farming a lot more than I think I've already mentioned this, a lot more than Shaco, is because obviously I want the Feral Flare stacks. Normally, if I was playing with the Spirit item, I could just I would just be camping probably bot lane at this stage. But I'm on my way top. 1 to hold it, 1 to get the farm, and 2 because I know my red buff will be up very soon. You can see me sort of dancing around, waiting for the red buff to come back up. And I'm also in position to gank Darius if he stays, but he's left the lane, which is the correct thing to do on his side. So we have double buff, we have a pushed Zed who's backed out, so that is where we are headed. Maxing my E, then max W in terms of skills, because E will increase your see what happens. Unfortunately, Swain does go down, but I do pick up the kill. At least we just had to stick on to Zed there and auto him all day. Put down a box, got the Terrify, wasn't enough. Swain unfortunately went down to the Zed ult. Now I'm going to start heading down bot lane because they are pushing the tower down real hard and I don't want them to take it. So let's see what happens here. I'm going to deceive over the wall, take the Thresh dives the tower, easy kill on the Rengar, and I'm going to try and chase down this Quinn. But unfortunately I get minion blocked, so I'm just going to actually tax the lane instead. Realised I had the camera on stuck to me all day, so I'm actually going to move it somewhat more fluid in the future, because I don't think you get to see the full action if I just leave it attached to me all the time. Now, as you can see, I haven't gone back in a long time, and if we look at my gold, That's the enemy's team got. Oh, you can see my gold anyway. I've got 2k in the bank, and I'm going to pick up a dragon. The benefit of buying Wriggles is you can really home in on these objectives. Baron and Dragon are easy to solo when you have Wriggles or Feral Flare. More so Feral Flare, and the other reason it's easy to solo, I didn't feel the need to this time because obviously I have my teammates with me, but I could just simply hallucinate, which is your ult by the way, and your ult will also provide the Wriggles procs for you to use on the Dragon, so it will go down very quickly, incredibly quickly, when you're using Wriggles and Feral Flare. And it's a great way to solo Baron as well. As soon as 15 minutes in, if you're on the ball and the enemy jungler's dead, you could just walk in with your Feral Flare, ulti up, and then just mince Baron down. Now, in regards to the game at the moment, we've been able to secure Dragon. We've been able to get a couple kills bot lane. So I'm slowly trying to apply pressure to the game, and this is something that is quite bad in Feral Flare era, because Lucina does a lovely kick there, dashes onto me because I'm stealth, and then we easily get a kill with the Shiv and my clone, and it was just all the damages all at once. It was really strong. But that's what happens when you're fair as Shaco. You can sort of just waltz into lane and someone's bound to die. That's not strictly true. But this thing with the Feral Flare jungle, I always thought that, oh okay, the idea is Feral Flare, the enemy jungler, if you're playing a Feral Flare jungler, you're going to be farming all the game, not applying any map pressure. The enemy jungler will therefore be able to apply a ton of pressure and, you know, win the game through map pressure. This is not what's happening. As you can see, we're both Feral Flare junglers, me and Rengar, and we've both been able to apply a lot of pressure. He's applied quite a bit of pressure bot lane. I've applied a ton of pressure top lane, and bot lane as well, securing a dragon. And there was no real setback, and I think that's an issue with Feral Flare at the moment. There is no drawback to buying it. That's why you should really... I was about to say you should really buy it, and I wouldn't like to say that is true, but I mean, I can't even see a downside to buying a Feral Flare in the jungle anymore. Maybe if you're not an auto attacker, but I mean, obviously Feral Flare on fiddlesticks wouldn't be a good idea, but it just seems super strong right now, and it's definitely changed the meta for sure. In regards to dealing with camps and stuff, this is something I should have discussed when it was happening at Dragon. I thought about it, but my brain fluctuates to and fro too easily. Placing boxes behind the creep you're trying to kill will turn them around to fight your box, or they might even stay aggroed on you. In that way, you can turn them around and get your passive bonus damage, because Shaco's passive does an extra percentage damage. I think it's 20%, I believe. Yep, 20% bonus damage when hitting an enemy from behind, and you should not underestimate that passive. It's very strong. You can see I probably do it with the blue buff here. Yep, I stand one way, and my box will be able to live and hit the golem in its back, regardless as to whether you or the box is hitting it in the back. It doesn't matter. It's all your abilities will do extra damage, even the box. So it's probably better if it targets you, because then the box can actually live to do some damage. And it probably get his Terrify off as well, which might not always happen. You can see my second item here, aside from boots, was Shiv. Shiv straight out because of how strong it is on Shaco. Now I'm camping in this tri-bush here because I know Janna's going to teleport in. She's pinged her way in. This Quinn overextends. I place my box behind her. Unfortunately, she does flash out. I Shiv to get the extra damage off. And I hallucinate here to dodge. I can't really. Let me pull it back. Let's try and slow this down. So I Shiv her too early here because I thought she was going to keep running to get the slow. But now she ults in here. I get pulled, unfortunately. Janna's still here providing me shields and backup. Now she's about to turn back, and I hallucinate and dodge her ult. I'm not going to claim that was skill in any way, shape or form. That was sheer luck. My ult is still back here, which is real bad. I should have had my ult attacking Thresh. And I deceived to catch up with the Quinn and nab a kill in that way. Something also is a very hard thing to do with Shaco, and it's more probably luck based than skill based, is you can dodge skill shots and damage by pressing R. Like when I totally KS that intro right there. I'm not even mad. when you're not invisible, you literally cease to exist for a few moments, and that is enough to dodge a lot of skill shots, a lot of ultis, a lot of damage, and as such you can use it to avoid dying in situations like that where Quinn used her ult. Ezra picks up the kill there, which is very good for him. Very well played on him, like nabbing that kill. Now I see that Dragon will be up shortly. I believe it's 5 minutes for Dragon. That's 6 minutes for Dragon. Damn, I'm so dumb at this game. Dumb at this game. I'm just dumb in general. Regardless, we're not going to pick up Dragon because it's not for another minute and a half, guys. Bloody hell. Do you even play this game? Walk over a pink there. I'm not sure if I... Wow, that's embarrassing. I think I literally just left the pink ward in that bush. Anyway, regardless of that, we're going to keep farming out. I have no reason to back. There is nowhere... I could have been pushing mid, but I really don't see there any benefit to me at the moment. There's no reason for me. There's even a Dragon Timer in the top left corner. Wow. There's no real benefit of me to be pushing mid at the moment when I could be farming and getting stacks for the Feral Flare while the Quiet... Wow, and bot just got like ganged up on. While it's quiet, while there's not a lot happening in the lanes, it gives me some free time to be farming the jungle. As opposed, I mean, you could argue that yes, putting pressure mid tower would have been better, but greedy for them stacks, you know. Now, if we look at my gold again, I've probably got about another 2k. Yeah, another 2k in the bank here, ready to be spent on something. I believe I'll probably buy Last Whisper. Yeah, I'll start being a pickaxe. I got a longsword, building towards my Last Whisper now. The reason I'm picking up the Last Whisper in this game is because I see Darius has bought a chain vest, and that indicates to me that he's going to buy some form of armor item at least, and this early Last Whisper will help counteract that Darius is building armor. Bit of BM here from me because, you know, you're Shaco, you gotta be laughing in people's faces. There's some great... There's this bot lane later on. I was happy that I died as well because it was such BM. Anyway. I pick up Moby boots as well. Now, the boot choices with Shaco... Wow.
Blue team double kill.
Face check a bush, 2 guys in, not a good idea, died for it. Not a lot to say there. I could have kept the perfect score this game, but I do a couple of silly things because I feel like I'm Lord and Jesus, the almighty saviour of everyone in the league, and that's not entirely true. Now, what was I talking about before? I was talking about the Last Whisper. If no one was building armor, then I probably would have gone for Blade of the Rune King, because against squishy targets that have no armor, Blade of the Rune King does a ton more damage than what your Last Whisper will offer you. Last Whisper normally will synergize a lot more with other AD items, but in this instance I decided to buy it because I see Darius is stacking up his armor. I really had something I wanted to say. I stopped talking about the right things and started talking about the wrong things. Fuck. I have forgotten what I was saying. So we will just carry on. Well, I don't know. We'll carry on as we're going. So I see Darius is pushing the lane. I also... Oh, Moby boots and boot choices. We'll come back to that in a second. See Darius pushing the lane. I'm going to sit in here. No, he's not got a ward. And checks the bush with a box in. Gets feared. Gets eaten alive by the damage. And then dies. Me and this Lee Sin were also like talking a lot. So we were being bros this game. That's why, like, every time I gank top, that's why I laugh next to Lee Sin, because we were like discussing in chat and stuff. Anyway, boot choice. You have 2 choices with boots. You do go. I mean, you obviously don't have 2 choices. You have 6 choices, or how many different kind of boots there are in the game. But the 2 choices I would recommend, I should say, is Berserker Greaves or Moby boots. There's 2 ways to consider this. Berserker Greaves will give you more combat stats. And some people prefer that. I don't know why I put the mana pot there. That was real dumb because I'm doing blue buff, so I don't need a mana pot. That was incredibly stupid. I've also got my Feral Flare now, which is nice. That blue buff gave me Feral Flare. Janna very cleverly scans the bush for me before I enter it. I can deceive over the wall now. Thresh, the all-seeing, manages to pick out exactly where I am. Luckily I can ult and avoid some damage. Janet also knocks them back, heals me a little bit. Now I'm chasing down, and the flash helps me gain a ton of distance to catch the Thresh. This is just another team fight here. We all come on to Darius now. He's easy kills. He's jumping into like a group of all of us. Unfortunately, Swain does go down because he got focused hardcore with ignites and Darius bleed and stuff. And I'm just going to go pick up a dragon. So now I can finally talk for a little bit. Moby Boots will help you roam a lot more, get around the map, obviously because of the move speed. It also, in essence, lengthens the stealth that's on your Q, because obviously if you can travel a larger distance with the time you have stealth, it's essentially extending your stealth duration in a sense. So that's one way to look at it. So you can either buy boots that will extend your Q stealth, or buy boots and also get you around the place quicker, obviously, or you could buy boots that you feel will give you increased attack speed and better combat stats. Personally, I prefer Moby Boots, but it's all just a matter of preference. There's no real downside to either boots. Both provide very good stats for Shaco, or Shaco, as I will be saying interchangeably, no doubt, because I always say it differently. In regards also to summoner spells, I took Flash this game on accident, but Flash isn't awful on Shaco. It's not used in the same way as you would use it in other characters, like Kog'Maw, for example, where you pretty much use it to remain viable, giving you a means to escape and mobility. But you already have a Q with Shaco, which is a free flash every few seconds, so you kind of don't need Flash as much as other champions do, but bringing Flash with you can help you close the gap when chasing, which is very nice. And it can also help with disengage there. You see I Q to disengage as opposed to flashing. Obviously my flash is on cooldown, but it provides exactly the same benefit as what flashing does. Unfortunately for Darius, he does focus my clone right here, and he will continue to do so in a second. I believe he does ult my clone as well, despite the fact that I have double buffs on me, which really sucks. And it's a bit unfortunate for him, because obviously he ulted a clone, which sucks. But I mean, I had the double buff, so it wasn't as if he couldn't see me. Now Janna here is like beast mode, godlike, and saves my life. And alongside the terrifying my box, it was a pretty easy kill to 2v1 the Rengar, but her shield pretty much like won the day there. We're chasing Quinn. Probably should be chasing Quinn. We missed the Qs and stuff. Instantly, me and Ezreal just like in synchronized turn back. I believe I'd go mid lane to try and halt this Zed's pushing. If you're playing Shaco as well, don't be afraid to ult whenever you can. It's on such a short cooldown. I ulted in that fight down bot lane, and it's already 10 seconds and my ult will be back up. So this is a very confusing part for me. I saw Zed standing up here. He's just standing here, and he put his shadow over the wall. I thought he was just trying to bait me chasing him so he could quickly go over and like be fancy in his escape. Turns out he DC'd, so that was unfortunate. That's why, if you watched, I was just standing there looking at him like, why are you standing there? And before I E'd to kill him, but he did in fact DC, so that was unfortunate, and I probably should not have killed him in that way. But I did not realise. I thought he was just trying to fancily like, oh look, I'm just going to stand here because I can get out no matter what. This is me typing to the Zed apologising more than likely. And also, I was talking about summoner spells. You don't need Flash, like I said. It's nice for the gap closing. Other summoners to consider are Ignite. Ignite's real strong on Shaco because, let me talk about this one quickly. Ulti in, have the box down for the fear. The Rengar flashes back towards me, which is really silly. Unfortunately, Rengar does die to the minions there. I do get killed, however, by the Darius dunk, but my ult also manages to kill Darius. So that fight went really well for me. A double kill for my death. Pretty good. I'm pretty strong. Pretty happy about that. In regards to summoners, I really hate how these videos end up because I always split apart my teachings. Not teachings, wow. That's so like up my own ass. My ramblings, I should say, because if something happens, I start talking about that as opposed to what I should have been talking, or what I was talking about previously, which is why if I had any sort of skill, I would be editing these videos into small clips as opposed to just talking over one long video, but I do not have the time nor the patience to do things like that, nor the skill, but hopefully maybe one day. This will be a bit of practice, I guess. Get some practice in. Anyway, I was talking about summoners. Exhaust and Ignite are very good and very viable. Exhaust provides you with amazing crowd control coming into the lane, especially with the damage reduction now. It's real good when you're ganking, say, bot lane or mid lane to reduce their damages. And the slow is also very nice. So it helps you stick to people for sure. And it's real good in team fights late game. Ignite is real good also for adding to burst, and all of Shaco's damage is kind of bursty. If you're ganking the lane, you're coming in Q, W, like you got the crit, you got the E damage, and you've got the Ignite as well ticking away. You're going to be doing a ton of burst, and that will help in securing kills in that way. If you have Tiamat as well, if you've gone the Hydra build, the active from Hydra or Blade of the Rune King will also add to your burst damage and will synergize quite well with Ignite, but there is no wrong option really. Here I pay the price. This is the time where you're like, you'll be glad I died in bot lane. I'm sitting there bad-mouthing this Quinn. Played box down, dancing in the middle of a lane, and thank God that I pay the price with my life, because that was incredibly bad. Anyway, team's mid. Let's watch them for a little while. So we're currently 131 farm, 13 kills up. It's not that fantastic. Probably should have. Obviously, that's probably sounds a little overconfident on myself. The Wombo combo comes out here. Ezreal into Lee Sin and into freaking Janaku, and it's just real gorgeous right now. Unfortunately, Lee Sin gets a bit too close to Quinn, and I believe Swain will die here as well. Nope, Ezreal. Ezreal, will Ezreal do it? Oh, Swain will pick out the ulti. My second item, my third item here, fourth item here, sorry. I cannot count. So I built my Last Whisper, I got my Shiv, and now I bought Infinity Edge. Now, if this was any other game, GA would have been a much better option, because GA adds to your survivability immensely. The reason I go Infinity Edge right now is because I am very strong. I'm 13 kills up. I am carrying this game in a way. And buying a GA at this point for me, when I don't feel I require it quite yet, would have set me back. And buying Infinity Edge on the other hand, increasing my damage output immensely, will in fact help me snowball even more. My last item will be GA. But Infinity Edge is a very good item on Shaco late game, if you can afford to buy one. Otherwise, go for more defensive options. Go for the Sunfire if you require it. Looking at where my team's placed, I'm going to try and go split push top now. I'm also going to stack boxes in here. I think I can 2v1 these guys, so I go in. I dodged the dunk on Darius's R there with my Hallucinate. And I was like, yeah man, I dodged the dunk, but unfortunately I didn't put it on cooldown, so he just dunks me when I come out of ult anyway, so my 2v1 plans were denied instantly. But I thought I was strong enough, but now I've learned that I'm not strong enough to 2v1 the Rengar and the Darius. Also, interestingly, this Janna took Clarity and Teleport. I thought she was trolling. She actually turned out to be a really good Janna player, so well done Drake the Char. I really thought you was trolling when we were in the team builder select thing, but you were in fact very good Janna, so well done. Anyway, so I've died now for no reason. I'm buying a Chain Vest now because a lot of their damage is AD damage. Darius, Zed, Rengar, and Quinn. Obviously Thresh does some hybrid damage. Zed also, I think, has magic damage. Oh no, that's just his Blade of the Rune King doing magic damage. Darius' speed is magic damage, not that that matters immensely. And now Swain gets jumped on here, so I stick back, and instead of chasing too far deep, again, Rengar flashes towards me, or flashes into a bush, really weirdly, and jumps into a box, flashes into a box, gets me in, and then dies. He probably could have picked up... Oh no, he did pick up the kill on Swain regardless, never mind. Still a weird flash. Put down a box to try and stop the lane pushing back, and if we get engaged on the box is there for fears. Throw a shift for good measure. Now I've upgraded my trinket as well. That's something I wish I saw more people doing, especially support. If you've bought your, like, I'm all for buying the totem as a support, the totem trinket, the vision totem, which is the ward one. But like after you bought a sight stone, which you should be buying, you really need to switch out your trinket for the red one. I mean, you have no use for that anymore. It's red. The red trinket does replace oracles, which is what a support would be buying at that stage regardless, and it's really good. Well, it just stops you wasting an inventory slot, and upsets me when I see people not having that red trinket at that point in the game. But personally, I do believe starting with the warding totem will help, because it will let you stay in lane longer, because you can put down wards more consistently, even if you run out of them in your inventory. But also don't forget to upgrade it. Like personally, I've got mine upgraded, and I would have thought that this Janna should have had her upgraded at this stage as well. But it doesn't matter a great deal. But just remember to upgrade your trinkets as well, especially when you're like full build and you haven't got anything left to buy. Upgrading trinkets is real good. Now, unfortunately, I deceived into everyone there, but as you can see, my Moby boots, it looked like I was stealth for a real long time, didn't it? But the fact is, because I was so fast, I could move a long distance, and that's what I meant by it. Essentially, it increases my Q stealth time. And Rengar jumped into me, but he's 2v running right now, me and Ezreal. I back out, scared of getting dunked. Managed to hallucinate the ult again, but the ult didn't really do a great deal of damage because he didn't have too many stacks of bleed on me that time around. And then I'm going to send my clone into this minion wave and pick up the farm. Now the game is kind of closing out now, so I might even speed this up a bit and just save you the agony of watching this for another 4 minutes. So we'll speed up the game for a little bit. I'm split pushing now because I'm confident my team can 4v5, which is what they're doing very well. Put down my boxes, take down a tower, they get mid tower down. Taking down this in-mid tower. No one's here to stop me because I'm pressure mid lane. I managed to 1v1 Rengar easily, nothing too fantastic there. I stick around for a little bit longer, farming their jungle, getting more flare stacks. Then I come in mid, help them take the inhib, rotate round, get the inhib opened up. We team fight once more, pretty easy. Now I believe we recall. I checked the red buff, but I took it, so obviously it won't be there. I still haven't recalled yet, I don't feel the need to. I'm seeing all the buffs that are up, and I'm making sure I pick those up. Get back to lane, buy a GA, buy pots, run out. It's like the world's quickest commentary. And hop over the wall. Now I can't speed up anymore because it's the end of the game. And we're going to get the tower in the game. So I'm thanking you a lot for watching, guys. Obviously don't forget to use your ult to take towers down very quickly when you're split pushing, and also your jack in the boxes. But thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate your time. Please leave a comment if this helped you in any way, shape or form, and I hope to see you in the near future. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.